Since we found out, anything could happen, anything could happen, anything could happen, anything could
Hi everyone! So today I'm going to be talking about summer assignments before you get into college. So some colleges do give people summer assignments and others don't. So if your college doesn't give you any summer assignments, well, you're probably really lucky. And you probably wouldn't want to continue watching this video because it's basically tips on summer assignments, so it wouldn't be really interesting. But if you do have summer assignments coming up, or if you just feel like watching this video, then keep on watching. The first thing that I'm going to say is, if you have a reading assignment like a book, is read it as if it were your first college read and not a high school read. So when you're reading the book, think about it as if you're already a college student and how a college student would go about reading a book, and not how your high school self would read that book. Because probably the notes that you're going to take are different and all that stuff is a lot different. So just keep that in mind. Also, take a lot of notes as you're reading. So if you're a highlighter person, then highlight. If you're a person that writes down on separate sheets of paper, write it down. If you're a person that does both, post-its, just take a bunch of notes, because then if you have to go back to specific information, you don't have to go through the whole book again. Another thing is, when you're reading the book for college, reread it at least once, because the first time you read a book, you just get like the highlights out of it, and always the second time that you're reading it in the book, you get into a lot more detail. That's even like when you're doing your summer beach read. Like if you're reading this novel and then you read it again and you're like, oh, all these details, like he was wearing this shirt and not that shirt, and all those little things that you only notice the second time you read it. When note-taking, think about what would be important to your major. So let's say you're reading a business book and they have a lot of history facts, but they also have a lot of business facts. So you're obviously going to focus on the business facts and not the history facts, because that's what you're going to be majoring in. If you have IT requirements, so you have to take Excel courses, Word courses, or formatting courses, I don't know, like PhotoShop, or it really depends on your major. But if you have IT courses, I would suggest like going through them and paying really careful attention, and do a lot of practice. So if you have to be working with Word, just like write like sample papers on Word, and whatever you have to do on Word, just over and over again, because when talking about technology, you have to like really practice a lot, because that's what's going to make it easier when you get to school, because these are things that they probably won't test you on or anything. It's just something you have to know, because you're going to be using it a lot in class, and if you don't know how to do it properly, it'll take you a lot more time to do it in class. Also, in these courses, take a lot of notes if you can, because there are also like some little things that you know you're not going to remember when you're working on that Word paper, and then you have to like go back to your course and watch the whole lesson again. Then so you don't have to do that. Just write it down, like little things that you know you're not going to remember, like where is that specific button and all that kind of stuff. Do not expect professors to mention it. So I heard, like from what I hear, is that most of the reading that you do in summer, professors will not mention it, will not even talk about it. So this reading is actually just more for yourself and for you to kind of have a base when you go into the year and not feel as lost. So when you're reading, think about it that you're not going to have to like report to anyone probably. That's something more for you. So you should take it seriously because you don't want to get into class and feel unprepared because you didn't take your reading assignment seriously. And not because they're going to mention it or pop quiz you on it. It's just because it's going to make you better prepared. That's lovely. Just because it's going to make you better prepared for the classes. So that's about it for my video today. Stay tuned for my next video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.